Dear users, welcome to the real.law platform. My name is Xenia. I'm the Director of Service Development. Right now, I'll show you a quick guide on how to use our platform even more effectively. So let's get started. We'll start our work from the main screen. Here, at the top of the panel, you'll see a toggle. You can switch between search and legal table. I'll now explain in more detail what these are. Search is the familiar search bar where you can type a keyword, a document date, a document number, its title, and, well, the search. The search algorithm will provide you with relevant documents. For example, I want to find the law on value added tax. I'll just type the keyword VAT, and at this point, the search algorithm has already ranked the documents for you and suggests, for example, looking at law number 8. That's the main law for VAT. We'll come back to that later. For now, let's talk about the legal table. In the new version of the service, real.law 2.0, we've added this feature to view all laws in a table format. I think that the legal table will be a favorite for those who love working with spreadsheets in Excel. So here every client can customize their own table or a collection of laws, either by a specific topic or, let's say, by your job title, right? To create a list of laws that, for instance, all accountants or all lawyers need to know. Let me explain in more detail. As you can see, I've created a custom table, Table 1 and Table 2. Yes, these already have specific parameters. Initially, we are always in the default table. Let's say I want to create a collection of laws for an accountant in the field of taxes. I can, by clicking the gear icon, well, first hide some columns and customize the table to the view that's most convenient for me to work with. I can also rearrange the columns, right? You can also take a look and play around with these functions, and then you can customize it. So, as we discussed, we're building a table of tax laws for an accountant. So, I can select, for instance, authority, the issuing body, right, for any given legal document. Well, for taxes, that's the FTA in the Ministry of Finance. Also, for example, you can immediately see a link to the official website, right? By clicking the link, I'm taken to the Ministry of Finance website. The document is available to you in its original form. And you can also sort and filter by completely different parameters. For example, you can select decree law, which means the main highest level documents. Or we wanted to set up all the laws for an accountant. We need to find the role column and here select accountant. Or, for example, the tax specialist as well. That's it. Our table is now ready. We can also rename it. For example, right here, instead of table 3, we can just write tax. And if a new document appears on the platform that matches your set filters, it will also be automatically added to your collection. So don't worry, this table isn't static. It's constantly being updated and supplemented. And accordingly, the statuses listed here will also be updated. Well, you could say it's like having folders on your computer, but just more modern and interactive. I'll also draw your attention to the option of creating a custom column. And here, for example, you can write a note. Well, for example, let's say an article, right? I'll write Article 8. Let's say we need to pay attention to it, for example. Let's go back to the search page. Also, let's type in the keyword VAT. Yes, I promised you we'd move on to law number 8. We are now on the search page. By clicking on the blue magnifying glass, we get to the results page. Here on the left side of the screen, we have filters. By the way, the main menu, which is bright blue, you can also hide it to expand the screen, making it easier for you to read the text. To be honest, I always find it convenient to work with the open panel to see the names of these icons. So let's get back to the filters. Based on your keyword, the service has selected a list of relevant documents for you. But let's say you want to narrow down the selection and you know exactly which filters you want to apply. For example, I want the service to show me only laws. I don't need news or gazettes. I want it to be only at the federal level. Well, tax legislation is already at the federal level anyway. I want to see only laws that are in force. And as we agreed earlier, the highest level of law is usually a decree law. I'll check this box here as well. So here is number 8, which the service previously showed us at the top. Here it is now before us. All right then, let's move from the results page to the document page. Before us is law number 8 and its text. At the top of the screen, in the white area, you can see the main attributes, the document's parameters. For example, here you can see when the document was issued, when it comes into force, who the issuing authority is, the status, which is actually one of the main fields you need to understand for the legal analysis of the document. Basically, whether the document is in force or not. Actually, I just said, to rephrase, that the document has two statuses: not enforced, not in force, and enforced. In turn, documents that are enforced, that is, in force, can still be changed. Here is an example, a very good one, law number 8. You see, there is a postscript here called amended. This means that there were people accessing this document. Amendments. Logic. Now I'll demonstrate it to you. Law number 8 was issued in 2017, and below, our service's legal experts have advised you that amendments were made in 2022 to the 2018 law and in 2024 to the 2016 law. When you scroll through the text of the document itself, you will also see such great comments. Well, for example, the concept of electronic credit note was just introduced. 16 Federal Decree Law of 2024. If necessary, you can always go to the archived version of the document. Look, also up there. It is stated that the status is not enforced, meaning it is better not to work with this version of the document or make decisions with it. But you never know what you're looking at. Some decision that was made, say, in 2023. This means that this document will be relevant for you. But we are trying our best to warn you that it is not currently in force, and please go to a more modern version of the document. Let's go back to the original. Yes, the status here is in force. Everything is fine. Let's check ourselves, move on. We now have a search feature on the document page. That is, now you can write here, for example, the keyword what. There are 5 matches found here, and you can flexibly view them by clicking on the arrows. Well, they are also highlighted in yellow. Plus, if, say, you work with this document quite often and want to have access to it, at the top of the screen, you can bookmark this document. It is always available to you on this page. We recommend working and bookmarking the documents that are most relevant. Your activity, so that you always have them at hand and don't have to search for them through the search bar. So let's get back to the main page and see what else interesting we have here below the search bar. And also in the LO practice section, we can see 4 microservices that are the embodiment of the land practice until such a practical law. By the way, what we just looked at, let's say the search tab, it is located in the legal database section. This means the basis of laws. Let's go talk about our microservices. The first thing that catches your eye here is the Ask Pro microservice. Many of you have probably already tried it. Within this feature, you can ask 1 question for free per business day, which is included in any subscription to our specialist. Initially, when we created this service, we envisioned that a PARO is a public relations officer. This is the person who helps resolve administrative issues that typically arise between a business and government agencies. For example, how to register a company, how to renew a license, how to get a visa, what types of visas exist, the conditions for obtaining an Emirates ID, and so on. In fact, these are details that are usually not specified in the laws, and in our legal database, they simply don't exist. For example, there's no such law with requirements for golden visas, like having a certain salary for a specific period of time, and so on. So if you need clarification, please don't hesitate. Create a task. You just click the Create a Task button. Here, you'll need to write a title, for example, Visa Gold, if I have a question about a golden visa. I'll select the company's legal structure here. This is often relevant for these questions, and the answer depends on your legal structure, whether you're registered on the mainland or in a free zone. Next, you can write your question. I'll just type some gibberish here for now, and upload a document, for example, a license, if it's required. When you create the task, you'll get a message that everything was successful. Indeed, the task has been sent to our experts. You will see on the right side here a timer. A 24-hour timer will start. 24 business hours. We work from Monday to Friday. Our experts will answer your question. If clarifications are needed, the experts will get back to you with those clarifications. You can always track the progress directly in the service, and you'll also receive notifications by email. Ask PRO. I remind you, one question per business day is available to all subscribers of our service. So please feel free to ask. The more questions, the more our service develops. The next feature, which you can also use right here and now, a practical function, is called contracting. Within contracting, you can assign a task to our expert either for creating a new contract based on your technical specifications or for analyzing the risks of an existing contract. Whether it's a contract you've drafted and want to double check, or a contract sent by a supplier or client and you want a high level overview of your risks to save time, of course. Here, you also need to specify the title, select the contract type. Take a look and familiarize yourself beforehand with the types of contracts we work with. Well, for example, a service agri-residence. Well, you can also set a task. Let me also write a test here, for example. Yes, and here, as it were, abracadabra. When creating a task, the service will check whether you have enough money in your account. What is important to note is that the Ask Pro function is free, one question per working day, as I said. Let's say contracting is already a paid function and one contract costs 290 dirhams. To start the task, you need to have this money in your account. At the same time, you will get a notification that you can top up your account. Next, we enter the amount. If the service costs 290, then I'll assume I want to deposit 300 dirhams into my account. Next, you will have the choice of either requesting an invoice, which will be sent to our email address. We will definitely get back to you. Our technical support team is available. Or you can go directly to the top up button and the service will ask you to enter your card details and the money will be debited automatically. So now we have talked about contracting. There are also two additional features that will likely be available in Q1 2026. Keyslow function. Here, within the framework of this, you can leave a request for a selection of cases in your opinion, similar, for example, to your case or to your question, to your problem that is here now. And Company Check is an on-site business audit. Stay in touch. As soon as we launch these two services, we will definitely let you know. We will send a notification by email. So stay tuned and stay subscribed to our digest. What's also important, I'd like to say about the theoretical part of the service, about the legal database, that in addition to the search itself, that is the regulatory framework, you can always refer to the overview, to reviews from our experts. They used to be placed on our main page, now they are here. In the legal database and divided by topic, well, for example, if you want to look at reviews on labor law, then you just need to go to the desired section and then you will see two reviews. You can add these reviews to tabs so that they are always pinned to the top of the screen and you don't have to search for them for a long time. The reviews themselves, as a rule, consist of three main parts. And the first such introductory one, yes, it is. And here's an introduction. We'll highlight the legal framework, the characteristics of labor law in the United Arab Emirates, and the penalties. It's also important to understand them to protect yourself. In the second part, we have a list of the main laws, right? So this is actually your curated collection on labor law. And the third part usually consists of practical articles or perhaps documents like templates. By the way, you can find all the templates in the UAE contract law overview, right? By going here and clicking the Show More button, you can find the document templates our lawyers have created. Another important point I want to highlight is the notification section. Here, in the settings, you can select your role, right, your functional area, whether you're, say, a lawyer or an accountant or an HR specialist. You can select and deselect different areas. And depending on your position, you will receive notifications about new laws by email and in the service. Well, right now I don't have any notifications set up, so it's empty here. If there were any, the documents that have appeared in our service would be rightfully listed right here. In addition to that, we send this digest to your email once a day. So this morning, you'll receive all the updates from yesterday. An email to your inbox. My colleagues and I have added a working calendar. We thought it was very important to know when holidays are planned or if they are already officially confirmed. So stay tuned. 2026 will soon be available on our portal. In the Help Center, you can first of all find a link to our support email, right? Our support team. Don't hesitate to write with any questions. We're here to help. And also some tips and tricks on how to use our service right here in text format. Yes, for those who prefer it, please enjoy and read. In the settings, you can view, correct, adjust, or enter data directly about your account, or for example, manage your billing. Sometimes you might have purchased a subscription for two people, and let's say you want to add a third, right, to upgrade. You can always do that on the platform. If you want to pay by invoice, always contact our support team, and we will definitely get in touch with you. Well, then, colleagues, thank you very much for your time. Please use our platform. Please give us good ratings, well, or fair ratings that you think are appropriate. Leave comments, it helps us improve. It was a great pleasure for me to tell you and to spend this time with you, talking about the real.law service. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration. Thank you. All the best.